Morning, dear students. We were discussing about the growth and development of toddlers, and in last class we have discussed about the growth of toddler in different headings like biological growth of the child, like weight, height, head circumference, chest circumference, the sensory development, what is happening, the sensory changes, and also we have seen regarding the maturation of different systems and dentition. So these all things we have discussed, and in today's class also we'll continue the growth and development of toddler. So now we can see what is the gross and fine motor development in a toddler. So regarding the gross and fine motor development in infancy also we have seen the same, that is gross motor development is talking about the locomotion, the abilities of locomotion in children, and fine motor development, it is the fine motor activities which can be performed, the skilled activities which can be performed by the child. So we can see the gross motor development first. So by 12 months already we have seen, that is at the end of 1 year, 12 months, the child was able to stand, and also the child will make one or two steps with one hand held. That was the condition in 12 months. So in 15 months the child assumes standing position without help. So there is nobody needed to make into a standing position from sitting or from a lying down position. The child slowly stands up without help and walks without support at 13 months. Even it started at 12 months without help, the child starts to walk by 13 months. But we have to observe that the child will be using a wide based gait during this time because the balance and coordination will be less. So in order to prevent the fall and other problems, the child will be assuming a wide based gait, that means keeping the legs widely separated and walking. So that is a wide based gait will be followed by the child. And when the child is walking, they loses balance when walking around corners or stopping suddenly. So when the child is walking, there is no problem. So immediately when the child is stopping, suddenly stopping, or when the child is reaching some corner or turning or anything is needed, during that time the child will lose the balance and child may fall suddenly. So this is about the 15 months, and it will continue knees without support. So the child will be kneeling, will be standing or sitting in knees. Okay, then creeps upstairs. In four legs the child will be climbing the upstairs, that is creeping. Then throw small objects repeatedly and picks them up again but may fall. So the child will throw something, child by themselves they will be trying to pick up the object, but when the child is trying to pick up the object, they may fall because they lose the balance and coordination, and cannot throw ball without falling. So they will fall, they will throw the big balls, but when the ball is falling, along with that this side child also will fall. So cannot throw ball without falling. That is about the 15 months. So 12 months we have seen, 15 months we have seen, and in 18 months what can happen in a toddler in gross motor development is walks with somewhat wide stance. Now also the child will be walking with wide based gait, walks upstairs with one hand held. So initially in 15 months child was creeping upstairs. Creeping means by four legs they will be creeping upstairs. Now they will be walking, but they will have to hold one hand in the upstairs when they are walking upstairs. Then run stiffly, often falls. So they will be able to run stiffly, properly they will be running, but repeatedly they will be falling. Then moves quickly from place to place. Now almost all locomotion capacities they have. So every time the child will be in a moving position. So nowhere they will be sitting, everywhere they will be quick in movement from place to place. they can reach everywhere in the home. And seat self in small chair. So during this time we will be purchasing a small chair for the baby, and towards that small chair they will be able to sit without any help. Then climbs on furniture. If there is any big table or chair, they will be trying to climb on the furniture. And pulls and pushes toys. So they will be actively participating in the toy play. And also by 24 months. So we have seen regarding 15 months, 18 months, and by 24 months. 24 months means 2 years. So the child is more grown up. They will be have a steady gait comparing to the previous years, and can walk with heel and toe. So when we are showing like how to walk in a heel or toe, they will be trying to imitate it. Okay, they can walk with the heel or toe. They will be able to walk. And also in imitation they can walk backward. When we are showing them how to walk backward, they will do the same in imitation. Then runs more quickly in more controlled way, has fewer falls. So in the previous months we have seen that the child runs quickly, stiffly, but repeated falls will be there. But by 2 years, the fewer falls, the number of falls will be decreasing. Walks up and down stairs, both feet on one step at a line, holding on the rail or the wall. So they will be keeping one feet, next feet in the same line. Next they will be keeping the feet to the next step. Again the second feet also keeping. So that will be the way how they will be walking up and down stairs. So both feet on one step at a line. They will be keeping the both feet at one line, and they will be proceeding to the next step. So this will be happening in 24 months. Jumps crudely with both feet in place. So from floor they can jump to small distance or small height, and kicks large ball without falling. So initially we have seen that by 15-18 months the child throws ball, but they will be falling. But here they will be kick the large ball, but they may not fall. Picks up objects from floor without losing balance. So initially we have seen that they will be taking up the objects from the floor, but they will fall. But by 2 years they will be able to take the objects without falling. And by 30 months, 24 months is over, and by 30 months stands on one foot alone momentarily. So they will be able to stand in a one foot, one leg for a seconds or for few minutes. They will be able to stand if we are requesting. Walks on tiptoe for few steps upon request. If we are asking them to walk on tiptoes, they will be able to walk few steps without falling. Then walk up and up downstairs, one foot on a step, alternating feet. Because in the previous months we have seen that they will be keeping one feet, the second feet, and they will be in a line, and they will be proceeding to the next step. But now they will keep one foot on a step, and alternating feet they will be using for climbing the stairs. Jumps well in place with both feet off floor. So now they can jump off floor to slight height. They will be able to jump. Then jumps from steps or low chair. If it is a small chair or from a small height like a step, they will be able to jump. And can throw a large ball overhand 4 to 5 feet. So they will be able to throw ball properly to some extent. Rides a walker or a pedal car. So if they are having a pedal car or walker, they will be able to ride it. So we have seen regarding the gross motor development of toddler in 15 months, 18 months, 24 months and 30 months, what can happen in a toddler. So we can see the fine motor development which is by the 15 months. So in infancy we have seen that in fine motor development there was the development of crude pincer grasp was there. At the end of 1 year they will have a neat pincer grasp. And one more thing which we saw is they will be able to put objects in the box, and also they will be trying to make two blocks or building blocks. They will be trying to fuse two blocks, but they fail. So from that condition, now in 15 months they will be building a tower of 2 to 3 cubes. So they will be able to fix at least 2-3 cubes and they will be able to proceed. They will open boxes, keeps fingers in hole. They will scribble spontaneously and makes line with the crayon. Makes small lines with the crayon. Paste pictures in books and begin to turn pages. If we are giving some gum, they will be able to paste pictures in books and begins to turn pages, but not single page at a time. Inserts pellets in a narrow-necked bottle. This was the condition of fine motor development, the skills which is possible by 15 months. And by 18 months, they will be able to build a tower of 3 to 4 cubes. Initially, it was 2 to 3 cubes. Now, they will be able to make a bigger tower with 3 to 4 cubes. Scribbles vigorously. They will be scribbling if they get some pen or pencil in a floor or in a paper. Imitates vertical stroke with the crayon. Initially, they were able to draw lines. Now, they will be making a vertical stroke with the crayon. If we are giving a vertical stroke, they will try to imitate it. Then turn pages in a book 2 or 3 times pages at a time. So that is they will turn the pages, but not the single sheet, 2 or 3, more than 2 at a time. Then they will dump pellet from bottle. If something is given inside the bottle, they will be trying to dump it outside. That's possible. And from 18 months to 24 months, in fine motor development in 24 months, they will build a tower of 6 to 7 cubes. Initially it was 3 to 4, now it became a little bigger, like 6 to 7 cubes they will be able to make. Makes cubes into train one behind the other. So in the form of a train or in a bus form, or in a like according to their interest, they will be able to make one behind the other. So that is possible in 24 months. Scribble in more controlled way than at 18 months. They will scribble vigorously but more controlled manner by comparing to previous months. Imitate circular stroke. Initially, first they have made 15 months, they have made a line. The second, in 18 months, they have made a vertical stroke. Now in 24 months, that is 2 years, they will be able to make a circular stroke. If we are drawing a circular stroke for them, they will try to imitate it. That is imitate a circular stroke. Then turn pages of book once at a time. So they will, initially they were 2 or 3 pages at a time, they were turning the pages. Now they will turn the page more appropriately 1 page at a time by 2 years. Then open door by turning the doorknob and may run away. So they will open the door and they will go outside without any assistance. They will be able to go out. Then unscrews the lid of jar. If any bottle is given, if there is screw, that they will be able to open it by unscrewing the lid. Then folds paper once imitatively. If we ask or if we show how to fold the paper, they will imitate it. Folding the paper, they can imitate. Is proud of accomplishment of motor skills. So they can run, or they can jump, or they can go outside, they can climb the stairs. So these all accomplishment of newer motor skills, they will be proud, and they will be they want the appreciation from others when they are doing some motor skills. So that is also they will be interested. That's about the fine motor development in the 24 months. And in 30 months, what happens is they will build a tower of 8 to 8 cubes. So this cube making, that building block making, it becomes little more bigger with 8 cubes, and adds chimney to train of cubes. Like how the train, they will make the train, and some additional parts for train also will be added, because they are observing the same things in news or any other models. So that is regarding the adding some more additional parts to the train. Makes vertical and horizontal strokes, but may or may not join them to make a cross. So they can make vertical stroke, and also they can make horizontal stroke. It may not become a cross, but they can make both type of vertical and horizontal strokes, and they will imitate circular stroke forms closed figure. So the starting and ending, they can make a closed figure with more proper circular stroke, they will be able to make more appropriately. And holds crayon with fingers instead of entire hand. So when we were observing the small children, maybe initially the pencil they will be holding with the full hand, like palmar grasp, with palmar grasp they will be holding. Now they will be holding with the fingers by 30 months. And good hand finger coordination will be the moving the fingers. So these all things they will be doing. So with one finger, two finger, they will be able to take the objects, and they will be moving the fingers more appropriately. So this is about the gross motor and the fine motor development in a toddler. So hope you all are clear with how from infancy the complete dependence child is improving its locomotor abilities, and also the fine motor skills or the fine motor abilities of the child. So now the child can scribble, can building blocks can be made with at least 8 blocks, and they will be able to add some more additional parts for their train or bus or whatever things they are making. And also they will be able to make imitation of the vertical, horizontal, circular strokes more appropriately. And they will be holding the pen or crayon with the fingers instead of in their hand, and they will have more coordination of hand finger coordination will be there. So this is about the gross motor fine motor development. Next we can see the psychosocial or emotional development. So psychosocial development, already in the theories we have already discussed in detail about psychosocial development. So we know that two tasks is given for the baby, that is development of autonomy or development of shame and doubt. So development of autonomy happens if there is proper support is given, and if it is not developed, the child will be going to the shame and doubt. And one more thing, psychosocial theory was put forward by Erik Erikson. So this theory explanations are already over. So psychosocial development during toddlerhood, they will differentiation of self from others. So I want food, my toys, my home, my parents. So this differentiation of self from others. So mother is the I am different, I have my own needs. These all differentiation will be happening in the psychosocial development of the toddlers. So they will have toleration of separation from parents. So they can tolerate the separation from parents. They may not cry. If the parents are going out also, they will be able to tolerate it. There is no crying or other problems. ability to withstand delayed gratification. So initially when we were thinking the infant, till the food is given the child may cry, but in toddlerhood, like wait, if we are asking them to wait for some times, they will withstand that delayed gratification, so they will be able to control their needs. Then control over bodily functions, that is especially the eating and elimination, bladder and bowel elimination. So these all areas the child may have some amount of control. And accusation of socially acceptable behavior, so when somebody is coming, how to behave with them, and what is a acceptable behavior in a group, like crying, whether if I want food, whether I can cry or not, that socially acceptable behavior they will be able to understand during this time. Tolerate moderate frustration, like if they are not okay also, they are not comfortable also, they will be able to tolerate to some extent. For everything and every word they will not be showing their frustration. Then able to venture away from parents for brief periods, maybe for a outing or maybe for a visit to uncle or auntie's house. They will be able to take a break from the parents for brief periods, for 1 or 2 days also, even they can withstand the separation of the parents. And less fear of strangers when parents are present. So when strangers are coming, they will be able to treat them properly, and they may not be fearing if the parents are with them. That's about the psychosocial development. And during this toddler period, we have to understand there are certain behavioral characteristics that is very particular about toddlers. So in infancy, the child is very chubby, very cute, and easily manageable. Even with anybody, the strangers also can manage the infant, and we are very fond of them. And now in toddler period, the sound of children and the parents are coming out because of these some behavioral characteristics of the toddlers. So we can see the behavioral characteristics of the toddlerhood. The first one is negativism. So negativism, what do you mean by that? The propensity to do the opposite of that which is requested or what one's normal desires would suggest. So if we ask them to do something, they will do the opposite of what is requested from them. That is known as the negativism. So if we are asking them to bring something, they will not bring and they will throw that. That is the opposite of what is expected from others they will be doing. This is known as the first behavioral characteristic of toddler, that is negativism. Child exerts power as an individual through negativism over family members. So we know that the child is starting their independence from the complete dependence of infancy. So through negativism, I am an individual in this family. I have my own power in this family, that they are trying to show to others with the help of this negativism. So this is not a problem for the toddler, or it is not a unchangeable problem. It is a child is exerting power as an individual through negativism or family members. So I am not the person to be obedient for everybody. I have my power. I can also say no. That power they are trying to show with this negativism. That is the first behavioral characteristics of toddler. Negativism is behavioral manifestation of frustration. So if they are not comfortable, if they are not happy with the activities of others and the environment, they will be showing the negativism. So they will do opposite of what is expected. If they have frustration, it will be shown. That is known as the negativism. So the second so usually for developmental steps in response to frustration, that is passive acceptance. Passive acceptance means whatever things you are doing, everything I will accept. Physical aggression, I will show some amount of irritation through my physical signs. Verbal aggression, that means I'm telling I'm not comfortable, I'm not going to do this. And later the child will be developing into socially acceptable behavior. So in the passive acceptance, we can say that in infancy it is accepting whatever things we are providing, the child accepts. Then after that, physical aggression, like in toddlers we can see physical aggression like temper tantrums or negativism, not doing the things, everything can be seen. And verbal aggression, slowly when the child is developing its own language, verbally the child will be doing the negative behaviors, and after finally the child will be developing into the socially acceptable behavior. So this is a part of frustration. Negativism is part of this response to frustration, and it is a very normal behavior in toddlerhood. Next we can see the temper tantrums. The second behavioral characteristic is temper tantrums. So as toddlers strive for the autonomy, they are confronted with many obstacles, such as the physical irritability to complete a task. So now during this time they will start development of autonomy. They want to do everything independently. But when they are starting the things, it may not be completely complete, they may not be able to complete it properly, or it may take much time. So the concentration difficulties and the irritability to complete the task, these all will result in the temper tantrum behavior of the baby, so that they will do something for 5-10 minutes, and if it is not completing, they will throw that particular activity which is done already. So this thing is temper tantrums. Okay. And as the frustration builds, children explode with the activity to release their tension. സോ ഒരു കാര്യം ഇങ്ങനെ ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നു, അത് ശരിയാവുന്നില്ല എന്ന് കണ്ടു കഴിയുമ്പോൾ അത് അവർ എക്സ്പ്ലോഡ് ചെയ്ത് അവർ ആ ടെൻഷൻ കളയാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് അവരതെല്ലാം വലിച്ചു പൊട്ടിച്ച് തല്ലിപ്പൊട്ടിച്ച് കളയും. സോ ദാറ്റ് ഇസ് എ ടെമ്പർ ടാൻട്രംസ്. Typically, they may lie down on the floor, kick their feet, scream. So, if they are not able to complete a task, what they will do is they will lie in the floor, they will kick their feet, they will start to scream. These all will be the temper tantrums. So, this is the part of releasing their physical irritability or the irritability or frustration. They are trying to remove their frustration through temper tantrums. So head banging, head rolling, breath holding are the other behaviors some children may use. The next one is the third behavior characteristic of toddler is ritualistic behavior. Ritualistic behavior, it is nothing but repetitive acts performed to relieve the anxiety. So the same act is repeated, and it may be to relieve their anxiety towards any matter. Provides a way for the toddlers to maintain the sameness and stability in confusing world. So caregivers recognize rituals in bathing, eating and sleeping. So maybe they will be taking one pillow every day for sleeping, or one plate for taking food. So that will be taken every time. That same plate is used for eating the food. Maybe they will be eating in a particular chair, and every day they will be eating in that particular chair only. When they are watching movie, they will be sitting in the same chair every time. They may not be allowing any other to sit in that particular chair. So that is a ritualistic behavior. So that act is repeated. This is to make the sameness in the environment. They are trying to make the sameness, because now in toddlerhood they are separating from their caregiver. In infancy they were in the hands of the caregiver, but now they came out from the caregiver and they are trying for their own independence. So during this time, the changing environment that they are trying to keep in the same manner through these all things. Maybe some bathing towel will be the same towel they want to do in shower, use in shower. So these activities are known as ritualistic behavior. Maybe in some conditions we can see that the children will be with one toy every time, and with that toy only the child will be sleeping. So this is the example of ritualistic behavior. So hope you all understood. Next is the ambivalence. So the ambivalence, that is simultaneous existence of conflicting attitudes of love and hate towards the same object. സോ പെട്ടെന്ന് നോക്കി നിൽക്കുന്ന സമയത്ത് അമ്മ ചീത്ത പറയുന്നു എന്ന് പറയുമ്പം അമ്മയോട് ഭയങ്കര ദേഷ്യം, നീ ബോഡി എന്നൊക്കെ പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് ഭയങ്കര ദേഷ്യപ്പെട്ടിട്ട് പോവും. ഒരു 5 സെക്കൻഡ്, 1 2 3 4 5 എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോഴത്തേനും അവരെന്ത് ചെയ്യും, തിരിച്ചു വന്ന് അമ്മേന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് വരും. സോ സൈമൾട്ടേനിയസ് എക്സിസ്റ്റിംഗ് ഓഫ് കോൺഫ്ലിക്റ്റിംഗ് ആറ്റിറ്റ്യൂഡ്സ് ഓഫ് ലവ് ആൻഡ് ഹെയ്റ്റ് ടുവേഴ്സ് ദ സെയിം ഒബ്ജക്റ്റ്. സോ ഒരെണ്ണത്തിനെ തന്നെ സ്നേഹിക്കും ചെയ്യും, അതിനെ തന്നെ ഹെയ്റ്റും ചെയ്യും. സോ ദാറ്റ് മാക്സിമം ഒരു ഇൻ ബിറ്റ്വീൻ ഫീലിംഗ് നമുക്ക് അവർക്ക് ഉണ്ടാവില്ല. ലവ് മീൻസ് മാക്സിമം ലവ്, ഹേറ്റ്രഡ് മീൻസ് മാക്സിമം ഹേറ്റ്രഡ് ടുവേഴ്സ് ദ സെയിം ഒബ്ജക്റ്റ്. So this is known as the ambivalence. Usually the children will be showing this to the primary caregiver. Usually, obviously, in the relationship to the primary caregiver when is disciplining, giving the instruction to the child, they may do the opposite. We may have to punish the child. They will be hating the caregiver. Within seconds, they will be coming back with lot of love. So this is known as ambivalence. Okay. Next is regarding the sibling rivalry. So sibling rivalry, that is a natural jealousy of children to a new child in the family. So sibling rivalry, that is the jealousy towards the new member, new child. So in 2-3 years, that is toddler period, usually the second child will be reaching or arriving in the family. So toddlers do not hate the infant, but hate the changes that this additional child brings, especially the separation from the mother during the birth. So we should not think that the child is hating the baby, but actually the child will be jealous about the baby, and child will be hating the change what infant brought in the family. That means they will be, till that moment the child will be with primary caregiver mother. Now when the new child is arriving, this child separates the first child's mother from the toddler. So that condition and other problems they will be hating. So this is the sibling rivalry. So this is about the sibling rivalry. So we have seen that there are certain behavioral characteristics which we have to study along with the psychosocial development. That is, the first one is negativism, that is doing opposite of what we are expecting. Temper tantrum, that is frustration. The child will be trying to explode the things which is to relieve the tension. Ritualistic behavior, that is repetitive acts to relieve the anxiety. Ambivalence, the simultaneous existence of conflicting attitudes of love and hatred. And the sibling rivalry, that is jealousy about the new child because of the change which they brought in the toddler's family. So hope you all are clear with what all things we have discussed. Thank you very much for your kind listening, and we'll see in the next class. Thank you.